There's a white powder that costs under $1 at any hardware store. You sprinkle it on a bathtub stain that's been sitting there for 3 decades. You pour in warm water and walk away. When you return, the stain is gone. Not lighter, not faded, gone. Yellow buildup from years of hard water, dissolved. Rust rings from old dripping faucets, erased. Calcium deposits that survived every cleaning product you ever threw at them, vanished. The bathtub surface underneath looks exactly like it did the day it rolled off the factory floor. White, smooth, untouched. This powder has existed since 1882. It was never banned, never recalled, never pulled from shelves. It was buried beneath an avalanche of $15 spray bottles that make big promises and deliver almost nothing. Because a powder that permanently fixes the problem in a single application cannot drive repeat purchases. And what cannot drive repeat purchases cannot sustain a $200 billion industry. This is the story of the $1 powder, the cleaning, industry prayed you'd never discover. Welcome to Forbidden Camping, where we crack open the vaults that industry locked shut. The year was 1776, not Philadelphia, Uppsala, Sweden. A pharmaceutical chemist named Carl Wilhelm Scheele was boiling sorrel leaves inside a cramped laboratory behind a small apothecary shop. Scheele was not a wealthy man. He was a pharmacy clerk who ran experiments after closing hours using borrowed equipment and secondhand chemicals. That night, as he reduced the liquid down, white crystals began forming at the bottom of his flask. He tasted them carefully, the way chemists commonly did in that era, and recorded a sharp, sour flavor. He had just isolated a compound the world would later call oxalic acid. Scheele wrote extensively about its extraordinary ability to dissolve mineral deposits and rust stains on direct contact. He published his findings. The scientific community barely acknowledged them. He died 10 years later, at just 43 years old, poisoned by the same chemicals he had dedicated his life to studying. His discovery sat buried in dusty academic journals written in Latin and Swedish, untouched for over a century. Then, in 1882, something completely accidental happened in Indianapolis, Indiana. A chemist named George William Hoffman was cooking a pot of rhubarb for his evening meal. When he was done, he noticed something that stopped him cold. That pot had been tarnished for years, darkened with layers of mineral deposits and grease that no amount of scrubbing could ever remove. But after the rhubarb cooked inside it, the pot was gleaming like new. Hoffman wasn't just any home cook. He was a manufacturing chemist who already sold cleaning solutions throughout the American Midwest. He recognized immediately that the rhubarb contained something extraordinary. He isolated the active compound and found it. Oxalic acid, the exact same substance Scheele had crystallized from sorrel more than a century before. Hoffman built a cleaning powder around this acid and began selling it in brown paper bags to taverns and saloons. Barkeepers used it to polish brass rails, copper kettles, and cast iron stovetops. The results were so impressive that word traveled from saloon to saloon across Indiana, then spread across the entire nation. He named it a product after his most devoted customers, Barkeeper's Friend. By the early 1900s, this powder sat on hardware store shelves from New York to San Francisco. 140 years later, the identical formula is still being manufactured in Indianapolis. Same oxalic acid, same cleaning chemistry, same results. Nothing changed because nothing needed to. The powder already worked perfectly in 1882. But here is what the cleaning industry does not want you to understand. When oxalic acid makes contact with a rust stain, a double displacement reaction occurs at the molecular level. Iron oxide, which is simply what rust is, bonds with the oxalate ions released by the acid. This creates an entirely new compound, called iron oxalate, which is completely water-soluble. It dissolves and rinses away as though the stain never existed in the first place. The stain is not pushed around the surface, it is not masked beneath a white residue, it is chemically disassembled from the inside out. This is fundamentally different from what every commercial bathroom cleaner actually does. Most spray bottles on store shelves rely on surfactants, essentially soap molecules, that loosen surface-level grime and temporarily float it away. But mineral deposits, rust rings, calcium scale, and hard water stains are not surface grime. They are chemically bonded to the porcelain, enamel, or fiberglass at a molecular level. Soap cannot break those bonds. Scrubbing cannot break those bonds. Only a targeted chemical reaction can dissolve them permanently. Oxalic acid does exactly that. Research on chelation chemistry confirms that oxalic acid binds with calcium, iron, and magnesium ions more aggressively than any surfactant commonly found in household products. It works on porcelain, enamel, fiberglass, ceramic tile, and stainless steel without causing any damage to the surface underneath. This is why one application of a $1 powder accomplishes what 50 bottles of bathroom spray cannot. The numbers reveal everything. A standard bottle of brand name bathroom cleaner runs between $8 and $15. The average American household purchases 6 to 12 bottles of bathroom cleaning products every single year. That is somewhere between $70 and $180 annually on products specifically engineered to manage stains. Not eliminate them. Over a decade, one household spends between $700 and $1,800 on bathroom cleaners alone. A single $2 container of oxalic acid powder holds enough material for dozens of applications and lasts throughout an entire year. The cost per use is measured in pennies, not dollars. But it gets worse. When stains become too entrenched for spray bottles to handle, homeowners bring in professionals. Bathtub reglazing services charge between $300 and $600 for a single refinishing job. Full bathtub replacement starts at $1,500 and can climb past $8,000 once installation. Plumbing and tile work are factored in. Every single dollar of that expense could have been prevented by a powder that costs less than a cup of coffee. So here's the question that should keep cleaning company executives staring at their ceilings at night. If a powder costing less than $1 permanently removes every category of bathtub stain, why does the cleaning aisle stretch 50 feet long? The global household cleaning products market generates over $200 billion in annual revenue. Surface cleaners alone account for more than $68 billion of that figure. Bathroom cleaning products represent one of the fastest growing product segments in the entire industry. Companies like Procter & Gamble, Reckitt, Henkel, Clorox, and SC Johnson control shelf space in every supermarket across the continent. Their entire business model rests on a single foundational principle: repeat purchase. Every product on that shelf is engineered to manage your problem, not permanently resolve it. A spray that clears surface grime today guarantees you need another bottle next month. A foam that temporarily whitens your tub ensures you return to the cleaning aisle within weeks. Oxalic acid is an existential threat to that entire model. You cannot build brand loyalty around a product that solves the problem once. You cannot offer subscriptions for something that eliminates the need to ever buy it again. You cannot justify charging $15 for a spray bottle when a $1 powder does the job faster, better, and permanently. So what does the industry do? They don't ban it. They don't confront it directly. They do something far more effective. They ignore it entirely. They flood the market with hundreds of competing products wrapped in vivid packaging, celebrity, partnerships, and laboratory-sounding brand names. They spend billions on advertising that conditions consumers to believe cleaning is a weekly ritual, requiring specialized branded solutions. They make the aisle so crowded, so overwhelming, so loud, that a plain container of oxalic acid powder sitting on a bottom shelf becomes completely invisible. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is shelf economics. A $2 product that solves the problem once generates $2 in total lifetime revenue. A $15 spray bottle that needs replacing every few weeks generates hundreds of dollars per household over 10 years. The math is straightforward. The incentive is obvious. The outcome is an entire generation of homeowners who have never once heard of oxalic acid. Meanwhile, professionals have relied on this powder for decades. Hotel housekeeping teams use oxalic acid solutions to restore bathtubs between guests. Marine restoration crews apply it to strip mineral buildup from fiberglass boat hulls. Woodworkers use it to bleach out water stains and revive aged lumber. Industrial cleaning operations purchase it in 55-pound bulk quantities because nothing else performs at that level. The professionals have always known. The industry has always known. The only people never informed were the ones handing over $15 a bottle for products that barely scratch the surface. Here's exactly what you do. Walk into any hardware store, skip the cleaning aisle completely, head to the paint or wood restoration section, look for a container labeled oxalic acid powder or wood bleach. It will cost you between $1 and $3. Take it home. Put on rubber gloves and eye protection, because this is a real acid and deserves genuine respect. Mix 2 tablespoons of powder into 1 quart of warm water inside a plastic bucket. Stir until fully dissolved. Ensure your bathroom has proper ventilation. Crack a window or run the exhaust fan. Apply the solution to stained areas using a sponge or spray bottle. Let it sit for 10 to 20 minutes. For stains built up over multiple decades, allow up to 30 minutes. Do not scrub. The chemistry handles everything. After the waiting period, rinse the entire surface thoroughly with clean water. Look at your bathtub. The yellow is gone. The rust rings are gone. The calcium scale is gone. What you're seeing is the original surface that's been hidden under those stains for years, possibly decades. Total cost, under $1. Total time, under 30 minutes. Scrubbing required, none. One critical note, oxalic acid is genuinely powerful. Always wear gloves, always protect your eyes. Never combine it with bleach or any other cleaning product. Keep it completely away from children and pets. Rinse all surfaces thoroughly without exception. This is a serious tool, not a casual experiment. Used correctly, it performs beyond anything on a store shelf. Your grandparents knew about this powder. Their generation didn't have a 50-foot cleaning aisle dictating their purchases. They had a tin under the sink and spotless bathtubs. Then the market expanded. The advertising multiplied. The shelves grew louder, and a simple permanent solution was slowly pushed to the back of the store. The powder didn't disappear because it failed. It disappeared because it worked too well. A product that eliminates the need to buy it again is every cleaning brand's worst nightmare, but it's still there. Still sitting on that shelf, still costing less than $1, still doing in 20 minutes what an entire industry cannot accomplish in 20 years. The science didn't change. The chemistry didn't expire. They just stopped telling you about it. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe and share it. Every share keeps this knowledge alive for the next person still wasting money on products built to keep failing them.